Greetings to all my coaches, the principal, parents, and invited guests present here today. My name is Oladotun Susan, and I enrolled in the course Software Development Backend Python for Tech Summer 2023 Batch B. With me, I have my teammate Victory Igwemba, with whom I work tirelessly on this project with. In the Software Development Backend Python course, I learned various skills and concepts relating to Python, such as data types, variables, functions, control flow, and modules. The title of our project is Math Quiz Game. The purpose of this project was to develop an interactive math quiz game that helps users practice various mathematical concepts such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Before I show you the project, let me tell you some of the project objectives. One of it was to create a user-friendly interface for selecting math operations and difficulty levels, to generate random math problems based on selected operations and difficulty, to assess user answers and provide more feedback on correctness, and to implement a scoring system which would improve on the entire gaming experience. So let me share my screen now. So I talked about how I wanted a clean interface, and here we can see the screen saying welcome to an interactive game where you test your mental muscles. Very clean. Choose a mathematical operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and this I made this to happen by using the print statements in Python, and I also made sure I print break lines. I also asked the user to enter a number corresponding to their choice. So for each of the mathematical operations, we have numbers corresponding to it, e.g. 1 for addition, and so 2 for subtraction, and so on. Now I asked the user to choose their difficulty level, and I also asked the user to how many questions they want to answer. So to do this, I made different modules for the different mathematical operations in Python, and I made sure I imported random, which is a Python library. And after doing this, I defined a function and I called it question generator, short for question generator. I passed in the parameter of difficulty. Under that I made a variable called num1 and num2, two variables called num1 and num2. And what this basically does is, since I've already imported random, this prints out random integers from 1 to 10 times the difficulty. So let's say the user picks a difficulty of 5, it will print random numbers from 1 to 10 times 5, which is 1 to 50. And then I made another variable, which is question, what is num1 plus num2, and I made sure I made another variable that calculates the answer, because without knowing the answer you can't know if the user is correct or not. And I made sure to return the question and answer, which is basically to call it back. I did the same thing for the subtraction modules, multiplication modules, and division modules. So to allow for a more cohesive code, I made sure I imported random, and I imported the various mathematical modules, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And I also made sure that if the user, okay, look at line 37 of my code. I said if operation equals to addition, questions equals to addition dot question gen. So what this basically does is that if the user picks up addition, the mathematical operation addition, it will go into this module and then print everything under the function. So it will basically do what I've already imputed in the function. This is basically what it does. So I also talked about correctness, how the user would know that they are correct. And to make the code fun, I did something. I put a variable called correct underscore emoji, and I used a green tick emoji for incorrect underscore emoji. I used a red cross emoji. So that's basically what that does. And I also made sure that the user enters their answer. So we have to know the user's inputs before we make a decision that the user is correct or not. And what I did is I made it to be an integer. If the user doesn't input an integer, it will say invalid input, please enter a number. So I used an if-else statement to print if the correct user is correct, if the user is correct or not. So I did if check underscore answer, then it should print correct answer underscore emoji correct. So basically what this does is if the user picks a correct answer, it will print the correct emoji and to print correct. And here we can see a counter in Python. So what this basically does is that for every question that the user gets correctly, it increases by 1. So Python is storing the score of the user. Else, it will print if the user gets the answer wrong, then it will print incorrect emoji incorrect. The correct answer is answers, because what's a quiz without knowing if you are right or wrong, right? So I made another variable. I wanted to use a percentage scoring system. So instead of saying 3/5, you got 3/5. I wanted to do something like percentages. So I used the formula for calculating percentage under the score variable, which is correct over number of questions times 100, and I printed quiz finish, your score is that particular score that Python has calculated because I made the variable. Else it will print no questions are available, please select a valid operation, which might not necessarily happen. So now let's look at the entire code. Sorry, the output for the code. Here we can see math quiz game. Welcome to an interactive game where you test your mental muscles. So let's choose addition, for instance. It will also ask for the difficulty level. Let's say, okay, we want a difficulty level of 2, and let's say we want to answer 2 questions. So what is 4 + 1 is 5. So for this second question, instead of writing 24, okay, let's write something like 30, and we'll see what Python will do. So it will tell us incorrect. The correct answer is 24, and after the quiz is finished, it will tell us quiz finish, your score is equals to 50%. So it does the same thing for subtraction, multiplication, and division. So this project took me 6 hours spread between 3 days to complete, and beyond tech summary, I think it will be very useful in school educational settings to make math learning fun, interactive, and nice. And I also want to give a vote of thanks to Tech Skool for making this amazing program where teenagers like us can learn how to code. I want to thank my parents for enrolling me in this school. I want to thank my uncle and auntie, Dr. Dare Bambushe and Mrs. Ronke Bambushe, and my cousins Chloe and Jason, who are watching this program right now from the United States of America. I want to thank my coach, Mr. Gabriel Shoinka, for being an amazing coach and a supportive coach. And I also want to thank my teammate, Victory Gwemba, for being a very supportive teammate. He really helped me during the coding process, and their encouragement have been very invaluable to the completion of this program. Thank you very much. And that was math quiz game.
Amazing. You see, you were going into part that I naturally would stop you, but because of the amazing presentation that you have done, I just couldn't stop you. I just need to let you go. This was, in fact, I only have one question. Did you know anything about Python before you came here? Before the past 2 weeks?
Okay, I knew Python, the programming language, but I didn't know how to code in Python. But I was very eager to learn how to code in Python. That was why I enrolled in the course.
This is unbelievable. So all this was in 2 weeks, basically.
Yes, sir. It was. Yes, sir.
This is mind blowing. Joshua Bola. Amazing. What do you have to say about this? Also,
wow. Actually, first and foremost, I didn't even expect it to be a random set of questions. I thought it would just be like maybe a set. But the fact that you integrated the random set of questions, then the presenting just keeps coming and coming. It's really a wonderful project. And in 2 weeks, I'm like, even today I will extend. Of when I new to Python, I'm the one that sort of like, I'm like, but really, I love the fact that there is different. Not that you just make everything into one file and you use them in plot to import other stuff to make the code much more clear, which is very interesting.
Yes.
I don't know whether you have to type out all this code by yourself, but it looks like a lot. It's not really a lot, but it looks like a lot. I think there should have been a. Did you use any external dependencies? That's
yes.
Like any external module apart from the ones that you have.
No, I didn't use any external modules. I only used the random module to do this.
and you were able to achieve it in 2 weeks. I don't really, I don't have I don't have much to think like
Oh my
what
God.
makes
Thank
the best
I
place I've been to. And a lot that's a lot of work. And you did it in 6 hours.
Yes, I do.
With your mentor, right?
No, with my teammates.
with your teammate. They were taught. After being taught, then they were being asked to go back and build it. Everybody has different projects. You see, the funny thing is that even me, I'm still surprised. Like, I don't know why I'm surprised, but I'm also still surprised. You guys are just, man, a round of applause for her. This was awesome.